Hi, I'm Liz, the Heartsong Whisperer, senior mischief maker and recovering class reunion enthusiast. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're back for more, well, bless your pea-picking heart. You must be a glutton for real-life stories that I share from behind my bifocals. Oh, good. Now, if you watched my first video, you know I'm single. But some of the stories I share happened back in the day when I was married to my husband, Clint. Yes, you heard right. Husband. He's no longer my husband, but he was once. Clint has since passed. But, I know he's still eavesdropping from the great beyond. Probably I can see it all now with his arms crossed. And here we go again, look on his face. So when I mention him, just know it's a tale from the past, sprinkled with love and laughter, and maybe a little eye rolling here and there. And by the way, if it appears I'm reading, I am looking at notes. At 81, I just can't remember everything that I used to, but I'm sure you'll get the message. Now, let's talk about class reunions. Have you ever been to one? After, let's say a few decades, ever struggled to recognize people who once passed you notes in class and now pass kidney stones or even air? I mean, I don't think I've aged at all that much. Okay, sure. I found a few laugh lines, but only when I use a magnifying mirror set to zoom and doom. Clem used to say I was still his spring chicken, but truth be told, a few of those springs had sprung and the rest were squeaking for mercy. I had a couple of soft spots, and not just in my heart. Still, he had a clever way of telling me I was getting older, always with a sugar-coated smile. Took me a while to realize it wasn't romance, that was survival. He didn't want to go flying out the front door like a jack-in-the-box with, broken hinges. Anyway, one day I'm out getting the mail, and there is a letter from my old high school. Turns out they were organizing a class reunion for those of us who graduated in 1959, just a few years ago. Now, I won't say how long ago that was, but let's just say we were still dialing phones back then with a rotary, and milk came in bottles, and dinosaurs still roamed the earth. Okay, maybe not quite, but all I could think was, will Benny Doberman be there? Oh, Benny, my first real crush. Tall, tanned, hair black as midnight, arms like the branches of our old oak tree. I mean, that boy could have lifted a Buick with one pinky and still had enough charm to melt your braces. I had to go. But first I figured I should spruce myself up a little, like tighten a spring or maybe even two. First stop, I decided was the dentist. My usual guy, Dr. Baisley, was off on holiday. I mean, how dare he when I had to get perked up. But anyway, that temp had taken over. I figured, I guess no big deal. It's just a cleaning. Well, in shuffles this gentleman, if that's what you want to call it, and I use the word loosely. He looked like he came with a chair. I mean, bless him, but I wasn't sure if he was the dentist or the ghost of dental past. He starts cleaning my teeth, and something about him tickles a memory. I stared at him hard, not in a flirty way, in a where do I know this fossil from kind of way. So I finally asked, did you go to H.P. Beale in London? He nods. Interesting. Did you graduate in 1959? Another yes. My spidey senses were tingling. My scalp started to itch. You know, it does that when I'm on to something. Well, then I said, "Is your name Benny Doberman?" He blinked, stared, and finally smiled. "Sure is. Why do you ask?" I said, "I think we were in the same class. Now, are you ready for this?" He looked at me, tilted his head like a, confused puppy and said, "Oh, yeah, I remember you. Weren't you my teacher?" What? Me, his teacher? My partial plate almost flew out with the loud gust of air that flew out of my body. I didn't say another word. I grabbed my coat, my purse, my dignity, what was left of it, bolted out the door like my behind was on fire. "Send me the bill," I shouted over my shoulder. Honestly, the only thing that needed a cleaning that day was his claw. How rude. So yes, that was my class reunion experience before I even made it to the reunion. And how was your week? Thanks for spending time with me today. If you got a smile, please give a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from your reunion stories or maybe dental disasters. Until the next time, take care of yourself, keep laughing, and remember, you're only as old as you feel. Until, of course, someone calls you their teacher. Bye for now.